Okay, so good morning, everyone. Good to have you this morning. It's a new it's a new month, all right, and it's great to start the month with this positive spirit of studying. All right, the early hours of Monday morning. Today happens to be a public holiday, and here we are studying in a class. It's a good one. So this is GST102, and this happens to be the fourth class on Telegram, and we have treated a lot. Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, this is Series 4. And everything we have treated actually are recorded. And for many of us who maybe did not catch up with the class, please do well to go to the Telegram YouTube channel so that you can watch and catch up. This same class, today's class will also be uploaded on the channel for as many who couldn't catch up still, so that they can have something to go through. All right. So on the new Telegram YouTube channel, that we are uploading only all Telegram classes, because we are going to be doing Telegram classes for all our YouTube classes. I said it when we started the semester. I said as soon as we are done with the 2 YouTube classes for all our courses, 3 model. First is Telegram and YouTube, second is Telegram, then the third is revision. It's really MTH106 we are doing now on YouTube, and we are going to be in less than 2 weeks done with that course. We are coming back to Telegram. We are taking all our courses on Telegram where we discuss, all right, and we get to understand the course better. So on the YouTube channel where we are posting these Telegram classes, it's a new channel. Let's do well to subscribe to that channel. Subscribe, like, share, and comment, all right? So this being said, let's just go into today's class. Okay, Miss Blessing, can you unmute yourself? Miss Esther, do also unmute yourself. It's morning. I believe your environment, your background is not noisy. Can you hear me, Miss Blessing and Miss Esther?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. It's good to have you in today's class.
I was not expecting it. I just on my phone and saw the tune that is 6:30. I said, wow, let me just try and see if I can attend this one.
Awesome. Were you able to get the previous classes on this course? Did you see the previous classes?
To be frank with you, this period I've not really checked, but I just said let me just complete my notes. As my note is complete now, I'll go for it. I'll start checking them.
Awesome. So this is GST103, GST102, and this is not a fresh class. Actually, it's a class we have taken before on YouTube. So Miss Blessing, do you have your notes with you? Do you have your note there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are starting from interviews. So if you don't mind, I'd like to know what you have in your notes on the topic interviews. Miss Esther, you are there. Please unmute yourself. I think you are a new student. I think you just joined the class recently. Okay, Miss Blessing, are you there?
I'm going for it to know the what are they calling it? The unit.
Your notes. I'm not saying the material. Your notes in particular.
Yeah, my notes. I'm talking about my notes. The volume that we talked about it. Because it seems as if the GST102, we don't have much content
Okay, maybe I should help out with some things. Now, before we get to interviews,
Touch on
we
it.
already
So I'm trying
did
to figure out
things.
where it is.
Okay,
So,
okay. We've done things already on, we've done consonant and vowel sounds. We've done the rising tone, and we've done the falling tones. All right, we've done intonation. So it's after all this that you now get to interview. Immediately after word stress. So you scroll down, then you get to interview. Have you been able to get it? Okay. In order not to keep us forever, so I think I'll just take it off. But just keep checking. Just keep checking. So when we say interview, Miss Blessing, even without looking at your notes, when we say interview, what do we mean by interview? You can unmute yourself, please. There's no need to mute yourself. It's a discussion.
okay.
So when we say interview, what are we talking about? What's your understanding about it?
Okay. What I understood by interview is just like somebody asking you questions about, okay, for instance now, maybe you want to go for job something, then I say okay, let them interview you, talk to you what you know about this kind of work, if you are capable
Okay.
of doing it or not, something of that nature.
Awesome. 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 So you can refer to that as a test, more of a personal test. When we say
Okay.
test, you are put to answer some series of questions. All right. So we can refer to interview as a personal test. All right. Just like what you said, probably you are going for a job interview, and then the your potential employer needs to find out from you if you are actually capable, all right, of occupying the vacant position. So in so doing, series of questions will be thrown at you, series of tests, you will attend to series of tests, right, just to test, all right, just to know if indeed you are the right person to fill that position. So we can refer to interview as what? A personal test. All right. That's the key point there. Interview can be referred to as a personal test. Now, interview board, all right, interview is done to get what? Insights into your personality. All right. Interviews are done to get insight into your personality. Now, when we say to get insight into your personality, just like what I said earlier on, your potential employer needs to know the kind of person you are, at least to some extent. All right. Interviews comes in different forms, right? Just one goal,
Yes, sir.
just one purpose. Your employer wants to know if you are fit for the position. All right. So it could be a series of questions, it could be a series of tests. All right. Series of tests and questions are thrown at you just to know your personality. All right. Some tests are even things you didn't even expect. Some tests could be as simple as you come into a room and maybe a tap is left running. All right. Might even be an
Yes, sir.
interview, you don't even know, and you just see the tap and walk past it. All right. The proper thing should have been the tap is running and there's nobody in the room. You'll have switch off the tap and you walk by. All right. So interview is just more of a test of personality. All right. It is a test of your personality. It's a test of knowing what you have up there, knowing what you have to offer, your attitude, your character. Right. All these things put together, your employer wants to know about it. All right. Are we good to go? Do you understand that? Are we good to go, Miss Blessing? Okay, she hasn't.
Sir.
Okay, so now We have a written test shows your grasp of a subject. An interview is meant to bring out your capacity to think and act responsibly in the job you have applied for. Now, look at the point here. We have, we said something about test, right? Testing your attitude, testing your personality, all right? Now, this test could be written, all right? When we say written, meaning that you are maybe like exams that we used to write, exams just to know, okay, if you have done your assignments. When I say assignment, you've done your homework by studying and getting ready for your exam. Now, when we talk about interview now, it can come in a written form, all right? And this written form is referred to as a written test. And basically, this test is to show, all right, to let the employer knows how well you grasp that thing you have come for. How well do you understand the subject? All right. An interview is meant to what? To bring out the capacity. All right. Your capacity to think and act responsibly. Just like what I said earlier on, all of this is because the employer, the one who is willing to employ, or the one who has created an advertisement for a vacant position, the reason why they do this interview is because they need to be sure, all right, if you are the best fit for that position. So they need to know how you think, right? How you can manage this position, what are the things you can bring on board, what do you have to bring to the team. So all these things they have in mind, and the only way they can know, the only way they can be sure they are getting the right person on the right position is through what we call interview. All right. So the interview is meant to what? Bring out your capacity. Your capacity to what? To think, and even like this, to think and act responsibly. Ms. Blessing, what do you understand by when you think and act responsibly, all right, according to the job you're applying
for? Okay. It should be after the interview, right?
Okay, now, the question is, you are being interviewed now. We said something about why are we even interviewed? All right. And I said, okay, for example, now you have a position in your office and you are the one appointed by your company to do an interview for the new intakes. So let me ask you now, why do you have to do an interview? Why don't you just accept whatever it is they say and just let them fix it and just put them in the position?
Okay. Now me, I do the interview to know how capable they are in the field, if they are capable of doing it or not. Because most of them can most of them can do, some of them, let me say, some of them must have finished school, but they don't, it's them that finish school, it's not finish school that finish them. And most of them, the school finish them and not them that finish the school. So
Miss
what I
Blessing,
mean by that
what
is
do you
that
mean by it's not school that
they may
finished?
have, I want to explain now.
Okay, ma.
They may have the knowledge for it, but they don't
Okay.
have the practical for it. And most of them
Mm.
knows how to do the practical aspect, but they don't have the written aspect. So during the
Mm.
interview now will make you to know if it's the one that knows how to write. Then you now know if you are taking that one to the cashier aspect. Then if it's the one that knows the practical aspect, maybe take that one to the kitchen. If that is
Mm.
catering department
Yeah,
too.
I
So
get it.
you don't know how to put them if you have to employ them.
Fix them in
Then
the
if they
right
don't, if
place.
exactly the one that don't even know anyone, you just tell that one that he will get back to that one. So on his own, you know that he has lost the job.
So you have to lie to them that you give back to them. Seems like you've organized an interview before. That's how they tell people and keep them on pending. So now, according to what you have said, ma, according to what you have said, now, all these things you have said in a nutshell, what you are doing is to what? To test the capacity of how they think and act responsibly in the job they are applying for. Those two words, to test their thinking capacity, all right, and
Yes, sir.
how they what? Act responsibly in the job they're applying for. Miss Regina, I think your background might be noisy because I think we spoke this morning already. But if your background is not noisy, you can also unmute yourself and contribute. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Sorry, I can hear you, sir. I'm just listening to get familiar with what you are saying. But I have so many people at my background. There is
Okay,
noise in my background.
I thought as much. It's okay. So let's continue now. We have preparing for an interview. Okay. Now, preparing is the first step towards a successful interview. All right. Preparing is the first step at a successful interview. All right. You don't go to an interview without preparing. That is the very first thing you do. Preparation is the first step towards successful interview. Now, you must do your homework on the subject matter well. Don't forget that interview you are going for, the employer, your potential employer, will do everything possible to be sure that you have the capacity, just like what Ms. Besson has said, you have the capacity, all right, and you are responsible enough to handle that position they are going to put you. So for you not to make a mess of yourself or for you not to lose your potential job, you have to what? Prepare very well for your interview. All right. Now, last minute preparation will not put an unnecessary strain on you, but it will make you nervous. So it is not good to do last minute preparation for interview. It's necessary you do your planning, you do your preparation ahead of time. All right. So we have that as that. So I think that's all. I think that's all on interview. Just a very short one interview. Ahead to tenses now. Tenses. Okay. Now, what are tenses? Do you have anything on tenses on your note? In your note, Blessing?
So I wish which I told you before. That is where my notes stop. Or maybe what I'll do, I'll just find out where I can get the other ones. My notes stopped
Okay.
at the sentence. This
Okay.
group, yes sir, syllabus. That was where my notes stopped. And I did the last assignment that you said list 5 sentences with the falling tune and rising tune. That is where my notes stopped.
Okay, but we have not even gotten there now. We are still at tense, on tenses. All right. So we have tenses. They are so important in written and spoken English. You know, when we say present tense, past tense, simple present tense, past participle. All right. Now, tenses are so important in written and spoken English. Now, what do they do? All right. They regulate. Okay. Tenses regulate time, all right, and the spectral form of English. Tenses regulate time and the spectral forms of English. Now, we have the simple present tense. The simple present tense. Now, the simple present tense has the simple form of verb. The simple present tense has the simple form of verb. All right. Now, this verb is called plain infinitive. All right. This verb is called plain infinitive. Now, what do we mean by this? This is when you add s or es, all right, to a word. Now, let's take for example. When I say s or es is added when there is a third person singular subject. Now, let's take for example. He speaks English with an Indian accent. Now, speaks, there's a S added to it. He speaks English with an Indian accent. All right, just a moment. Okay, Miss Omolola just joined. Good to have you on the stream. Miss Omolola, if your background is not noisy, you can also unmute yourself. All right, so the simple present tense is when you have s or es at the back of a verb. Just like we said here, he speaks, s at the back of speak. He speaks, all right, English with an Indian accent. Now, the present continuous tense has a form of verb, all right, agreeing with the subject. Now, what we talked about is just a moment ago. It's a simple present tense. Now we're talking about the simple continuous tense, and this is also called the present past participle. The simple continuous tense is also referred to as a present participle. All right. Here is when you add ing to your verb. When you add ing to your verb, all right. Unlike the simple perfect, unlike the simple tense, where you had just s or es to your verb. All right. I believe we all know what the verb is, right? Miss Blessing, what is the verb? Let me know ask Miss Blessing. I think it's not complete. Miss Omolola, can you unmute yourself, please? Miss Omolola, are you there?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
It's great to have you on the stream this morning. I've not been seeing you in class for quite a long time.
I've been very, very busy. Very, very busy.
Okay. So it's good to have you. So this is the GST102 class. And have you been going through the previous classes before now?
To be honest, right now I'm not even with my notes. I'm in my mom's house, so I'm not with my notes.
Oh,
so I just keep going back.
The good thing is that these resources are always available. We can always go back to them in our leisure time. If that's one thing with virtual classes, it is not limited. Anywhere you are in the world, you can always go back to them and catch up with classes. All right. So it's this class now, just like the previous ones have been posted. This class will also be posted on the new YouTube class or Telegram classes. So you can also go back there and check the series 1, 2, and 3. This is the 4th series now. So, will you share a thing or two about the verb? Do you understand what do you understand by the word verb? What does it mean? Do you have anything to say about
it? What? Verb is an action one. Words.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. It's an action word. Miss Blessing, do you agree to that?
That was what I wanted to say. So I don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Okay, she has said your mind, Abby. She was faster. Okay, she's right. So can you give me an example of an action word? Maybe 2 or 3 of them. I already mentioned one. Yeah, I've even mentioned 2. So can you give an example of action word?
Yep.
Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking to Blessing. Lola is washing.
Washing. Yes, yes. Okay, that's an action word. When we say action, when you act, all right? Action, when you do something, anything that makes you do or act in a particular way, refer to as action. So washing now is an action word. What else? Do you want to give me 1 or 2 more?
Singing, cooking.
Awesome, awesome. So, Miss Blessing, do you want to say something? Miss Blessing, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, you want to give us some examples? Miss Omola had given us good examples. Do you want to add 1 or 2 things as well?
Example of verb.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Be. Can it be a verb? Just be. Or maybe wear.
Where you mean
Yes.
like you are putting on your clothes?
Sir?
You mean like somebody's putting on his or her clothes, or what? Which way are you talking about?
Like WERE.
Okay. No, that is not. I think you are misunderstanding something here. When we say action word, like the way you are talking, it takes you if anything that requires your efforts. Just like what Ms. Omolola said. She said singing. Before you can sing, it requires your effort. It requires your energy. That's what we refer to as action. And we are qualifying that action with a word called verb. All right? When you are walking, that is an act. All right? You are acting in a particular way, which is walking. So walking now is an action. So we now classify it as a verb. Snapping.
Okay.
And this.
What if I say born?
Ma?
Born. As in when a lady is given birth.
Okay, giving birth, yes. That process, yes. Giving
Yeah.
birth is not bad.
Yeah.
What about skipping? What about running? What about talking?
Okay, let's say skipping.
Yes. Action. That's an action. All right.
Swimming.
Playing, stripping, yes. Even eating, even drinking.
Even
All right.
pooing.
So thank you very much. So why am I asking all this question? I just want to have this, let us have this feeling. It's a Telegram class, all right? It's not YouTube class where you have to type. So we need to ask each other, we need to have this conversation, and I need to be sure we all are on the same page. So just like we have established the fact now that whether simple presence, all right, just a moment, whether simple present tense or the present continuous tense, what differentiates the simple present tense from the present continuous tense is that when we say simple present tense, we are adding s or es to the back of the verb, to the back of the action word. All right. And the example they gave us here is speaking. All right. Here it is said that he speaks English with an Indian accent. Now, this sentence here, the only action word here is speak. And that's where they added the X, the S. Now, let's take, for example, the present continuous tense. All right. I am painting a picture. Miss Blessing, this sentence, what is the action word there?
Yeah, painting.
Good. All right. So if you remove the ing now, then it's no longer present continuous tense. What makes this painting present continuous tense is because of
Is
that
the ing in it?
So if you leave it as I will paint today, that means it is a simple present tense, or just a statement, right? But what makes this present continuous tense is that ing added to paint. All right.
Yes, sir.
If you say Lola paints a room yesterday. No, painted, that would have been the different thing. Okay, let me use another word. Trying to see some other word I can use. Okay, let me say Tolu talks too much. Tolu talks too much. Yes. Or Tolu talks a lot. That is a simple present tense. Because talk or talking is an action word. But since it just talks, all right, then it's a simple present tense.
Okay.
But if it's talking now, then it becomes a present continuous. Talking, like talking. Miss Omolola, are we on this? Are we all on the same page? Awesome. So okay, now it says here that the simple present tense is usually used to refer to a habit. Just like speaking can be one. All right. Now, I go for walk every morning. Something which is always true. Now, the sun rises in the east. Now, all these examples are examples of the simple present tense. All right. Now, the simple present tense is usually used, all right, to talk about an habit, something that is true. When we say an habit, for example, I go for a walk every morning. All right. Secondly, something which is always true. Example, we have the sun rises in the east. All right. Now, the present continuous is generally used to refer to an action going on at the moment of speaking. Just like the simple present tense talks about something that is always true, all right, or an habit. But in the case of the present continuous tense, all right, the present continuous tense talks about, all right, an action going on at the moment. For example, the child is crying. Mr. Malola, what's the simple present tense here? The child is crying.
Cry.
Awesome. Crying. Yes. Now, Miss Blessing, please tell us the simple, please tell us the present continuous tense in this statement. Look, he is coming now.
Okay, Luke is coming down.
Look, Luke is coming now.
Coming.
Awesome. Yes, that is the present continuous tense. Awesome. Now, let's continue. Now, some verbs are generally not used in the present continuous, even when they refer to the real present. All right? Some verbs are generally not used in the present continuous, even when they refer to the real present. Some verbs like, I hear a strange noise, right? I like some of the television series, all right? I know the principal very well. Now, you can see all these verbs, all right? noise, okay, star. All right, all those things are not used in the present continuous sentences. That's just a quick one. All right, now just a moment. Now, I want to quickly draw our attention towards some words that, or towards some statements that are wrongly said, or Nigerians.
See, I.
Nigerians, we have our mother tongue. So English language is an L2 for us. It's a second language. So in your exam, you will come across some questions like correct these sentences. All right. There are so many sentences we make that are grammatically not correct. All right. So very quickly, I will be highlighting some. All right, and we will be paying attention to know. Okay, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. But definitely this comes out of the exam. Now, listen, please. The first error here is I am hearing a strange noise. Do you think there's anything wrong with this statement? I am hearing a strange noise. What do we think is wrong with this statement? Does it sound correct to us?
I am hearing.
Miss Blessing, does it sound correct to you? I am hearing a strange noise.
You can say I hear a strange noise instead of putting the hearing on it.
Awesome. So as you can see, hearing here is wrongly used. The proper thing
But
would
that
have
is
been
Nigerian English.
exactly. The proper thing would have been I hear a strange noise. All right. Now, Miss Omolola, what do you think of this one? I am liking some of the television series. I am liking some of the television series. Does this sound correct?
Liking is not wrong. It's right. It's not right.
Okay. Now, the correct statement or the correct sentence would have been I like some of television series. All right. Now, another one is I am knowing the principal. This one is even very obvious. I am knowing the principal very well. It's very obvious that the correct one should have been I know the principal very well. All right. We also have he is wanting to be a teacher. All right. He is wanting to be a teacher. Is that correct? Who else on the stream? Okay, Miss Esther. Okay, Miss Esther, I don't know if you have anything on meeting herself. So now we can see that most of all these sentences where the issues.
Sir, sorry, sir. This one that you said, he is wanting, right? He's wanting to be a teacher.
Yes,
Okay. Are you going to say he wants to be a teacher, or he wants to be a teacher? Are you putting the S, or you're just leaving it like that? Is it he wants to be a teacher, or he wants to be a teacher?
The correct thing would have been the simple present tense.
That means there will be S in it now.
Yes. He wants to be a teacher. Not he want. He want is not correct. He wants to be a teacher is the right thing to say. So as we can, have I been able to answer your question?
Yes, sir.
So as you can see, where the problem is majorly is the using of the present continuous tense. All right. As you can see, you see hearing, liking, knowing, having, wanting. These are where the issues are. They're not supposed to have that ing. So let's pay attention so that when we come across questions like this in the exam or in the exam, we can know how to tackle them.
So if you want to use, sorry sir, if you want to use that, for instance, now that first one that asked that question that I was asking, he wanting to be a teacher. Normally, the English self is wrong. Even Nigerian self cannot speak that one. He wanted to be a teacher. But that one thing, when can it be used?
Wanting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was a question you asked me before concerning noise, that you said I hearing a strange noise. So that hearing already, it's obvious that I hear a strange noise. So that hearing now, when can it be used?
Well, I think hearing, I think is better to use listening or I hear. I think there's nothing like hearing. To me, I stand corrected, but the word hearing itself, it sounds wrong.
It sounds wrong, but it's English language. It's Nigerian language.
Grammatically, it sounds wrong. Is that you hear or you listen? If it was listening, are you listening? It's a different thing. But when you say, are you hearing? I don't think that word is correct. No, you can. Questions like, are you hearing?
Okay, are you hearing the strange noise?
Can you hear? Will have been correct.
Okay.
All right. You know, when you're now saying, when you're saying, are you hearing me? That's grammatically, that's wrong. If that been
grammatically Nigerian English.
Exactly. You know, there's this course I'm taking. There's this course 300 level, that's ENG 535. There are things we call borrowed language. All right. Pidgin is one of them. Borrowed languages in English. Pidgin is one of them, and some code mixing and code switching. All right. When you see people, they are speaking English, and they use their dialects in between. All right. When you get things like, please, follow me. All right. Please give me the correct would have been, please get me some water. All right. And you hear people saying they will use English and still use their dialect. It's called code mixing and code switching. So there are
it's common in Yoruba language. It's common in Yoruba.
Miss Blessing, it's in all tribes. All right.
Yes, but it's common. That was why I say common. I put it like that. It's common in Yoruba. They have never speak their language free without putting English inside it. So it's common.
Okay, if you say that, all right, but there are a lot of, that's why I said, you know, English language, just like what we treated in that course, English language came in as an intrusion. All right, it came in as an intrusion. What do I mean by an intrusion? We already have our language. We already have a language we are speaking, a language we understand. All right. So we are not natives. That's where these controversies come from. All right. And majority of us that speaks English, we are not even English majors. All right. So for you to speak English correctly, you have to study, understand the language itself. All right. That's why some persons go to schools and go to university to study English as a major. Right? But we need to understand that there are some words, there are some statements that are grammatically wrong. All right. So let's just let's proceed.
Hello, excuse me, sir. I have something to say.
Okay, ma'am.
Blessing asks about hearing. Probably is it right or wrong? Probably how can we be used? And I think we can use hearing in a sentence like I'm
Like, okay.
not hearing you clearly. From there, hearing can be used.
You
I
can
think
say,
so.
I can't hear you clearly now.
Do you understand?
I am not
Okay, the word
hearing
hearing
you.
can be used in a sentence. I
That
am
is what
not
I'm saying. I
hearing
want to
you
know why
clearly.
it's being used. Because you can still say, I can't hear you clearly. If instead of putting that ing, you said, I am not hearing you clearly. You can still say, I can't hear you clearly.
Okay. So, Miss
Okay.
Omola, what do you suggest now?
The
I'm not
Nigerian
hearing you clearly. Don't use the word I can't. I'm not hearing you clearly. It's best, I think it's preferable than I can't. I'm not, not I can't.
So,
I'm not.
Oga, you say something. I asked you this question before. I asked you this question before. So, yeah, say something.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Before I hello, sir. Sorry, let me say
Yes, ma'am.
something.
Okay,
The
ma'am.
difference between I am, I can't. I can't. You see anything you can't, that is cannot be done. So if you use the word I can't, that means you can't not even hear at all. So instead of
At
using
all.
that word I can't, here, instead of using that word I can't, it's better you use I'm not. I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oga, you say something.
Well, it's a positive argument. All right. But
Okay.
I'm still of the opinion that instead of you to use the
Hearing.
simple present tense, the present continuous tense, it is better you just stay at I can't hear you clearly. Or there's the alternative you can use. But the word hearing, all right,
It's
is
too
quite
strong to hold.
is not proper to use that word in such statements. Now, let me see what I have here. Just a moment. Now, it says here, now, okay, just a moment. Now, what I have here is that instead of using that word hearing is best interchanged for listening. Now, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I am not hearing you. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Are we getting what I'm trying to say here? That
Yes, sir.
word hearing is where
It's
the
very
bone of
difficult.
contention is. You should not use that word in the statement that has to do with you trying to listen or you trying to comprehend what someone is saying. All right. But from where we are coming from, that word I'm not hearing you is common. We use it very well. But because we are so used to using it, doesn't make it grammatically right. From what we have in our material, it is best to say hear, not hearing. Just like we saw wanting and wants. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Molola, are we on the same page?
Yes, I
Because
understand. I'm
from
here
what I
to
have here,
understand this right there.
okay, what did
You
you say,
see,
ma'am?
she's even using Nigerian English.
Okay, now look at this example. He said he suffered some loss of hearing in the right ear. Look at this. He suffered some loss of hearing in his right ear. Now let's also take this example. Let's make sure she's out of hearing before I tell you what I got for her birthday. Let's make sure she's out of hearing. Now, hearing here now it has to do with the process of perceiving a sound. I don't know if I'm raising more questions or I'm answering the questions. Okay. Okay. Now, let's consider phrases like a fair hearing. All right, a fair hearing. What about hearing aid?
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Hearing aid. You know, there are some persons that have issues with when you talk to them, they don't hear you. So hospitals, doctors recommend hearing aid for them to use. They attach it to their ear. What about when somebody is hearing impaired? He can't hear. He is hearing impaired. He is using a hearing aid, or he has on him a hearing aid. All right. Hard of hearing, hard to hear. Hard of hearing, hard to hear. All right. So it's kind of complicated, but we should be able to what? It says here, the act of power of comprehending a sound. So we should definitely be able to navigate where we should, all right, and where we should not use the word hearing, all right. Both words are correct, but it's now depending on the usage that makes it right or wrong.
That's what that was the point I'm trying to make. Both are correct, but how you use it. Yeah, the usage.
Yes, it's usage that makes it either right or wrong. So let's continue. Okay, so let's continue. So we have ways of expressing the future. Now you will now learn various ways of expressing the future. All right. Now, simple future. We are going to be talking about simple future intention. Okay, action about to take place. Okay, now. Okay, just a moment. Okay. Okay, so sorry, I'm just trying to go through my notes. So now let's talk about the past continuous tense. We've been able to talk about the common errors, all right, when using the present continuous tense. We'll also be able to talk about the simple present tense. Now let's talk about the past continuous tense. Now this tense emphasizes the continuity of events in the past. The past continuous tense. This tense emphasizes the continuity of events in the past. Now, it is formed by using was or were. It is formed by using was or were. You know there's a difference between where and where. Can anybody help me with the difference?
Where? That's WHERA. Am I right?
Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
That then WERA. That's where.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, now the past continuous tense is formed by using was or were. Now with the ing form of the verb. Now let's take for example. Excuse me. Now the definition here says past continuous tense, the combination of either was or were and the use of ing. These two things. Either you are using was or were, and you are also adding ing. Now let's see an example of that. The butterfly was running after a sunbeam. Now, what is the past continuous tense in this statement or in this sentence? The butterfly was running after a sunbeam. Does anybody want to help us with that?
So I was running.
Awesome. Was running. Now, the student was still lying on the grass where the nightingale had left him. The student was still lying on the grass where the nightingale had left him. Miss Omolola, can you help with that?
Lying.
And was.
About two of them. They are not one.
And was. Even was. Because the first one they said using was or were with ing.
Yes.
So was is there. Lying has ing. So it should be was and lying.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. So we have that on that. Now, we have the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense. Now, this tense is used to describe past events. One, present perfect tense. Used to describe past events. One, also to emphasize their effect on the speaker's present. Effect on the speaker's present and to describe the past events. Now, let's take an example of that. An example of that. Just a moment. Now, it is formed by using has or have. HAS or HAVE. It is formed by using has or have with the past participle form of the verb. Now let's take for example. I have read.
Sorry, sir. Which one are you talking about? No, I don't have material. It's only my notebook. Which one are you talking about?
Now we are on the present perfect tense.
Okay.
Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
The present perfect tense. Now, and the present perfect tense is qualified, right, by two things. It describes the past events, all right, and it emphasizes the effect of the past event on the speaker's presence. On the speaker's present. All right. Now, you form past perfect tense with the use of has or have. You form present perfect tense with the use of has, who have. Now, let's take for example, I have read all the novels written by Hadi. Now, and I still remember them. Now, look at what he's saying here. Two things. I have read. Somebody is talking. I have read all the novels, all right, written by Hadi. And I still, that's the present, remember them. Now, another example. The winter has chilled my veins. And at the moment of speaking, I am still cold. Have, past tense. Still, all right? I am still cold, present. Present perfect tense. Have or has with the speaker's present. Now you keep seeing I. That is the speaker. You either see have or has. And there is a present tense. Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
As the present perfect is linked to the speaker present, we never use it with past time expression. Okay? It would be incorrect to say, I have written a letter an hour ago. The sign before an example indicates an unaccepted form. I have, all right, written an hour. I have written a letter an hour ago. Now, look at these two things here. I have written a letter. That's the first part. An hour ago, another part. Is there any present tense in this statement?
I have now. Said I have written a letter an hour ago, Abby.
Now, this sentence is a combination of two. The combination of two simple sentences. This sentence is a combination of two sentences. Said, I have written, all right, a letter. That was the first one. Then the second one is an hour ago. These two sentences, is there anything like present tense? Yeah?
No, sir. No present tense, sir.
Okay, Mr. Omolola, do you agree with what Miss Blessing said?
There is no present.
So it is wrong. It would have been a different case if it was I have written a letter. Okay. I've written a letter. All right. And I am still waiting for a response. Or let's even say I have written a letter an hour ago. All right. And I am still waiting to get a response. Or I'm still waiting to get a feedback. So that it's not just going to be in the past, because there are two sides of this thing: the past and the present.
From what you say, from what you say, there's still no element of sentence there, a present tense.
There is still there.
I have written a letter an hour ago, and I am still
waiting for your response.
Okay, I get you now.
Still waiting for your response. That one
Thank
never
you very
pass. That
much.
one never even dey present. E dey middle.
Middle,
Okay.
which is better.
Okay. So let's continue. So let's see. Okay. Now, the present perfect continuous tense. The present perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to describe an action that started in the past. An action that started in the past. Sorry. Because my screen is on record. Let me remove that. So the present perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to describe an action that started in the past and is still continuing. It is formed by using have or has with been and ing from the verb. Now, the farmer have been plowing. The farmers, I beg your pardon. The farmers have been plowing their fields for 2 hours now. They are still plowing them. And they are still plowing them. Now,
Sir, quick question, please. What is plowing?
plowing is when you change the face of the soil. All right. We call them making of. I think it can also be referred to as making of bridges. Okay, now let me explain it in the farm. When you take your spade or something, it's more of a tilling of the ground for planting. When you till, you prepare the soil, all right, for planting. That's what it means basically.
Thank you.
Usually the soil is just definitely before you plant, the soil needs some tilling, needs some preparation, needs some adjustment, needs some, I don't know, let me say pepper and maggi to make it, to enrich it. All right.
Yeah.
So that process is referred to as plowing. All right. Some persons even used to make ridges as well. It also depends on what it is you want to plant. But the bottom line is when you make the soil, all right, ready for planting, you can refer to that as plowing. Miss Amolola, do you want to say
I'm
something
with you.
about that? Do you want to say something about that?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so just like what I said, it said that so sorry, let me check my just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, so we should be ending this class because I'm having another class, but I just quickly checked my timer. We have another class by 9. So let's see if we can, because I want us to finish this course today. That some other thing. Now, so according to the present perfect continuous tense, all right, something that has started in the past, all right, and is still continuing. All right, so you use have or has with ing. Now we have the farmers have been plowing their field for 2 hours now, and they are still plowing them. Okay, so we have that as that. Okay. Now let's talk about active voice. All right. Now, the active voice is a form of direct statement whereby the subject of the sentence takes an object without any inversion. In an active voice, the subject and the object of the sentence are not interchanged. Now, when we say active voice, there's a subject, there's an object. The subject is referring to the object, and there's a voice. Now, let's do that again. When we talk about active voice, there is a subject, there is an object, and there is a voice. Three things. The subject is the one. We can refer to the subject as the decoder, while the object is the encoder. The subject is the encoder, while the object is the decoder, and the voice is the medium in communication. Now, let's say, for example, John ate the yam. John is the subject, ate is the voice, and the object John ate is the yam. Are we together?
Well understood.
Hello? Are we together?
Sorry. No.
Sir, that's
I'm not getting you, sir.
Okay. Now, active voice is what we are talking about. When we say active voice, all right, it is a form of what? Direct statements. Statements that are direct. Active voice. All right? And I give an example. John ate the yam. Straight and plain. John, who ate the yam? John ate the yam. Straight. No inversion. No corner, like we would say. All right? Straight. All right? In an active voice, the subject and the object of the sentence are not interchanged. Every one of them is standing on their own because it is an active, it is straightforward, directed message. So we give an example. John ate the yam. John, just like as I said, there's a subject, there is a voice, and there's an object. The subject is denoted by S, the voice by V, and the object by O. John ate the yam. John is the subject. That is the cocoa. John is the main point. All right? If there was no John in the picture, ate and yam will have been useless. So John is the subject. Ate is the voice. ATE is the voice, and yam is the object that was eaten by John. Now, let's take another example. E cleared is truth. E cleared is truth. Now, the subject here is E. All right? The void is cleared. And truth is what? Object. Are we together?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now, this example, please tell me which is the subject, voice, and object. Everybody needs a girl. Towards the subject, object, and voice.
Sir,
Everybody needs a girl.
everybody needs a girl.
Okay.
every is subject.
Everybody, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then need should be verb. Then a girl should be.
I didn't say verb. I didn't make mention of verb at any point.
Oh, sorry, voice. Sorry.
Okay.
Then a girl should be the
Object.
sorry, say
Object.
the object.
Object.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, Miss Blessing, Miss Omolola. Now, can you please tell me or tell us this SVO in this statement or in this sentence?
I can't hear you. I thought you were saying something.
Yes. Can you please tell us the SVO in this sentence? She grabbed
S
his hand. She
sorry.
grabbed his hand. What is the SVO?
She is the subject. So I can't get the sentence very well. I have a background there.
She grabbed his hand.
Okay. She is the subject. Why grab is the object? Then the hand
His
is the
hand.
subject. And yeah, and is the voice there.
The hand is not alone. The hand has his.
He grabbed
Okay.
his hand. What is the object, the voice, and the subject in this sentence?
Augusta, she's not understand. You are being fast. The question is, she
I'm
grabbed
being fast.
his hand. His hand. You can continue.
Miss Omolola, are you with us?
Yes, sir. I'm with you. She
Oh,
is the subject.
okay.
And well, I don't want to use the word his hand. I think okay, if you say his hand is the object there. Then grab is the voice there.
No, no. I think you mixed it up. She, okay, Miss Blessing, do you want to help us? Miss Blessing, are you there?
So it's not as if she not get it. All she did was to turn it upside down. She put his hand grabbed. That was what she did.
Okay, so the correct answer would have been she, the subject,
Okay, please correct.
grabbed
Okay.
the voice.
Okay.
And what did she grab?
His hand.
That hand is the object.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me complete it. Hand will not be there.
Okay, so on this note, we'll call it a wrap for GST102. And the next time we're having GST102 class, it will be past questions and answer. And that will be during our revision time. Has anybody gone for exam clearance?
Exam clearance. Exam. So, because the day I registered was when I did everything. No, I don't like doing it one.
You did your exam clearance. Who stamped it for you?
Okay. The exam clearance. No. I told you now that I changed my center.
I was wondering who stamped it for you that you did the exam clearance, then you paid your school fees.
No, no, no. I told you I changed my center, so it's still being complicated in the sense that the school has not told me that the center has been transferred to Yenegua yet.
Yenegua?
So
Okay, okay, the
yes, sir.
center.
Yes, sir. So I'm waiting for them to transfer it from Delta to Yenegua. When they transfer it here, then I will do my clearance. And again, I'm also
Okay.
moving from Yenegua again to Calabar, maybe by next month. So I don't know if I will just collect permission later to go and write it in Calabar.
I think it's better that way.
To collect the permission later, ba?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. But that is when it has already come to Yenegua here, because they have already
Yes.
started processing it. So I'll just wait when it's here, then I'll collect the permission later and start
Okay.
going. Yes, sir.
So we should be our exams should be starting, if not because pen on paper now they are the ones starting their exam first. So
Yes, sir.
for CBT, exam should be starting by if I'm not mistaken, late November or early December. So we don't really have much time to waste. We need to put in all the effort so that we can prepare well and get set for exam. So
Yes,
for
sir.
as many of us who has missed a class or two, please let's do have to go back to these
So
classes.
honestly, this GS102, I missed a lot too, because my notes, I don't know. I will just go and check it. Apart from this one, I don't think I'm having any issue in any of the books. But this particular one, my note is not complete. And so I mentioned something that he did not even touch. He said ways of expressing the future, something like that. I wrote it down, but there was nothing under it, so I don't know. See it.
Network. It's network.
Okay, have a nice
Hello.
day, everyone.
No one. Bye.
So I wanted to ask you a question.